This class runs until, ooh, we have a visitor. Yay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you have something to show for today?
Oh, I was hoping to see lots of things. The only thing I've really been working on, one's a work in progress, and the other I finally finished. But
Oh, yes, I
this
saw this last
finished.
night.
Yeah, so this I refinished and actually played for the Bardic last night with the one song I can play at the moment.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And I built that actually back in 2003 when I lived on the East Coast. And then when I moved out here, it stayed back there because, it was really expensive to ship.
Right.
So it didn't get shipped out here until 8 to 10 years ago. Or no, it was still, I haven't played it for 8 to 10 years. It got shipped out probably 7 or 8 years ago. And I took it apart to do it because that saved me like $200 from the shipping, and it was still like $300 to ship it. So,
Right.
yeah. And then it just sat waiting to be finished and waiting and waiting and waiting.
Well, it's beautiful.
So, and now I'm like, why did I wait so long to refinish it? Because it's really enjoyable to play. And the other one that I'm working on is still in progress, but it's also a harp. However, it's a double strung, and it's going to have a cardboard sound box,
Okay.
which saves $2,000 off the other price for one that's fully wooden.
Right.
And for me, this is going to be, I like travel harps for events and whatnot. I don't have the space for a large floor harp. So, and this is an experiment. I don't know if I'll like double strung. I know it's going to be difficult to play because the strings tend to blend together.
Oh.
So if you play visually, it's hard to track where you're at. So, however, when I was finishing this thing and doing the varnish on the woodwork, it didn't say in my kit directions that, try not to get the varnish into the little holes, because then your eyelets won't fit when you go to install your hardware. So my eyelets don't fit. So I've been spending, and my poor fingers are so sore, trying to sand, going like this, back and forth with a little sandpaper in these teeny tiny little holes so I can put these eyelets in. And I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 left to go, because it's double strung, so I still got 12 left to go. And then I get to install the hardware on the neck, which, as you can see, the holes go straight through, so it'll have hardware on both sides. And then comes the stringing process, because this is 44 strings
instead of 22
harp. And being a double, that means it's got 44 nylon strings. So it'll take quite a while to string and then to start tuning, the tuning process for the next 2 or 3 months while it settles in.
Right.
And so that's my in progress harp.
Oh, well, it's beautiful work. Thank you.
Thank you
for sharing. I'm Journeyman Alina. This is the Artisan Display, obviously. I have a few pieces behind me.
I see that. Is that all hand stitching on
those? This one was machine made.
Okay.
This one was actually crafted during Chaos Wars, the digital event last time. We had a workshop with Master Anish, who is our moderator here. Okay. She taught a workshop on how to make this tunic, and I made it alongside her.
Excellent.
So it's brand new. It's made to measure to fit me.
Oh, is that fabric on the bottom? I was wondering if that was hand embroidered type.
No,
work, but that's actually fabric, isn't it?
It's a cotton print. Yeah.
I think I may actually have some of that. And I got it for a purpose similar to that, because I was like, oh, this would make neat trim.
Yeah, it made a very nice wide trim that I was able to put on, because, yeah, it's all hand sewn. Or not hand sewn, machine sewn. Because, trying to make a project in 4 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't happen.
The only thing I hand stitch is decorative stuff.
Right. And then I actually made these for my class this afternoon.
Oh, I want
But
to take that. And unfortunately, I can't do a work along with you because I'm packing to move and all my wire tools are already packed in storage.
yeah, but this is what I'm making in that class. It's
Oh, I
just an
super
ear
want to
cuff.
watch that one.
And I'll see if I can get them over my glasses because it hasn't been fit or anything. But yeah, it's just going to be a little ear cuff.
I
And
love
then,
those because I can't wear earrings. I'm allergic to all the metals going through my ears, but I can sit them on top of my ears and they're fine.
right.
So I'm super excited for your classes this afternoon.
And so I made this demo pair for the class this afternoon. And the wire I used is actually enameled wire.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't, like if I were to sell this pair, it wouldn't interact with a person's
skin and oils
until the enamel wore off.
Right. That makes sense.
But
so do you get the enameled wire just sell like at Michael's or something, or a craft store?
I bought this enameled wire from Hobby Lobby. Okay. And it's a vintage brand. But I also it's actual Parawire that is supplied by Hobby Lobby. But Parawire has their own website where you can order the different colors. I actually need to order the silver colored one because I'm like out of silver.
I like silver. Silver is pretty.
But yeah, I highly recommend the Parawire because it's very good to work with. And you know, it also has that hypoallergenic property. Now I gotta bring forward Mr. Man back here. Now, this was crafted by Master Sven. And it is a 15th century kaftan. 16th century Russian kaftan, inspired by Ivan the Terrible. It was made during the Thrifty Garb Challenge. So grand total for everything for this coat cost him at the time $25 or less.
Nice.
To make. Nice. Because this fabric was given as a gift and he just had to purchase this trim and whatever interfacing he had to put in the collar. Because the buttons we had on hand, thanks to me, he loves me. and this trim we had on hand too for the belt loops. But
that is fantastic.
He made this, and he's relatively still new to sewing, so this is really well done. And he purchased the lining from Facebook Marketplace and got like 50 yards of fabric for like $10.
Oh, nice.
And it has pockets.
I like that. You know, you always need places to store stuff when you go to events.
Yeah, these pockets are big enough to hold a mead bottle or wine bottle.
There you go. Travel in style.
Yeah. When he took pictures in this costume, it was the end of August, so he was dying.
Oh, I'd probably pass out.
Yeah, it was very warm. He's like, "Are you done taking pictures? Okay, I'm gonna pass out." And then next we have this tunic, which is a 14th century Boxton find tunic pattern, and it's completely hand sewn.
Oh wow. I always find people that hand sew stuff so impressive because I just don't have the patience to do it.
Yeah, it's entirely hand sewn. The camera is actually making it have a different weird color, but I can't get my camera any closer in the light. But it's hand sewn with linen thread, and even the trim was attached. via
Is it a
hand
linen
sewing.
fabric? I can't wear linen. I wish I could.
Yeah, it's linen. The fabric is linen. The trim is a polyester. And I wish I could get in on these hand stitches, but yeah, it's all felled and hand stitched.
Nice.
Even these teeny tiny ones here that comprise the seam, those are all hand stitching.
That is amazing. That is beautifully done. Cool. So
that is the work of his labors this year so far.
On the tunics, does he put the gussets in the arm thing? I am always intimidated by trying to put gussets in the arm thing.
Yes, the gusset is there.
That's the one thing that I just does not. I kind of know how to do it, but it's intimidating because the angles get all weird. Putting a gusset in.
It's just a triangle.
But it's the gusset. It's like,
just tell yourself it's just a triangle. The tricky part is when you try to French seam or flat fillet is when it gets tricky. But I actually what helped him put his gussets in is he watched a video by Morgan Donner.
She does some amazing stuff.
She does some amazing work, and she has a video talking about inserting a gusset for the sleeve.
That one. I might have to go watch that because that whole.
And actually, my underdress has one as well.
Okay.
I'm wearing it, so But yeah, this was actually constructed from one of her videos as well. It's her chemise. I actually constructed it this year. The only part that is I only did one sleeve that I have hemmed, but I hand stitched the hem for this one. Apparently I missed this one because that is the raw salvage edge right there.
That happens. Let me go.
I knew there was more I had to do on this tunic.
I will be right back. My kitchen is beeping at me, so it's annoying.
If you wanted, I could go ahead and show off what I'm wearing too if we need more.
Yeah. When she gets back.
Much better. Don't like it when the timer goes off and then it keeps reminding you that it went off. Yeah, I know.
Hello, I'm still here. Hello.
Of course, that is a good reminder because I have been known to boil a pot dry in water. I don't pay attention when the timer goes off.
Right. It looks like we have one more person coming in.
We do.
Yeah.
Yes. But Master Anish, do you want to show what you've been working on this year?
Well, this isn't this year. This one's
2 years old.
2 years ago, I think I made this. So let me see if I can get a better angle on it. This is what I made for my final project before becoming a master artificer. And it is several layers here. So there's a hood. Here. And it has my applique symbol on it. And then on the back is the Artificer Master symbol. Okay. And then for the sideless surcoat, I've got my artificer, my personal symbol applique again there. And then the Artificer Master symbol. And then these edges, I don't know how well you can see them. It's actually brocade, and I got it actually off Wish because I figured of anything to get from China, brocade is a good thing.
That is a good bet.
So I did that, all the way down. And then the dress is actually my modified tunic pattern. And then and on the surcoat, I have inset gores here with my colors. And then I did a similar thing on the dress.
I like that.
And I did a special, see if I can get this. I did a
Blurry.
let's see, more light. There's on the teal side, there's what's it called? A special stitch on my sewing machine that does like decorative stitch. That does like a leaf pattern. I don't know if you can see it at all.
I like leaves, but I can't see it. Unfortunately, it's just
no. Yeah, we're too pixely.
No worries. So there's that, and then I did tippets on the sleeves. I specifically designed this outfit so that I could shoot archery with it. So they're back here.
Oh, I love that.
And then I did kind of an archer's bracer type pattern for the bottom half of the sleeve. I have my applique realm symbol here and the artificer symbol here. These strings are lucette cord, very tiny lucette. And then I did what's it called?
Inkle weave.
Inkle weaving.
Okay.
For the trim on the sleeves here. So
do you when you do your inkle, what type of yarn, cord, thread do you generally use? I just use the crochet cotton one. I've experimented with it. I haven't done a lot, but
yeah. Let me pull out my. So I have. So I am still kind of learning. This was my first big project with it. And I made it on this tiny little loom.
Oh, that's so cute.
Isn't it? I wanted something that I could do in the car or at events. And so
I like that.
I didn't want a big one. So for this one, let's see, for the lucette cord, I use this, which is just, it doesn't have a label on it anymore. I think I just picked it up at Walmart from their
I think that's what I use, that cotton type.
Yeah, like exercise cotton or whatever.
I put some on a piece of garb, but then I washed it and it doesn't my trim shrink.
It'll do that. Cotton does that.
I'm not sure if I've actually washed this. Like, I washed the fabric before I used it, obviously. I'm not sure if I've actually washed this outfit yet. I've been very careful with it. This is a little bit thicker, and this is what I actually used on my loom. I don't remember the exact thickness. Basically, I went to our local yarn weaving shop with my friend who was teaching me lucette, and she said, get this, and get this. And I was like, okay. So I know like where that's located in that shop, and I know the approximate thickness that I'm looking for, but I don't remember the numbers for it.
I was just curious because I've dabbled in the weaving a little bit here and there. I've done a couple tablet strands and a couple inkle. Just not a lot. It's not one of the arts. I enjoy it, but I don't like the warping process. I like the weaving part. I don't like the warping.
The warping's a lot of work. And
my favorite art really is the silk painting.
I've seen those. Those are beautiful. I haven't gotten to do any yet, but they're gorgeous.
So I really like the silk painting.
I will have to take a picture of the silk painting I did when I was in college. It's actually hanging up in my parents' entryway. and has been since I gave it to them when
Yeah,
I
it's
completed
great.
the project. But it's actually quite beautiful. It was really fun.
That is
Um,
something that I finished actually recently. As I finished a silk painting. Let me see if I can find it because
okay, well, Christia is getting her project. Squire Pet, do you have anything to share?
Yeah, give me just like 30 seconds to grab it from the closet.
Okay,
And then I have one more thing when
when she gets
some other people have done.
okay.
this still needs to
But I
be
have
finished,
been
but
doing
my
this.
sewing machine is a little clunky right now. It's not. I don't have a usable sewing space with trying to move and pack. But
Ooh, pretty.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
That is gorgeous.
so I experimented with this one in mixing the Dynaflow silk paints with the Jacquard Lumiere paints for the bird itself, and it really doesn't show up well on camera. But I used some of the Jacquard Super Sparkle because peacock feathers have that shiny sheen to them, and then I also use some of their pearlescent paints in them, but just a little bit mixed in with a lot of Dynaflow.
Nice.
So
Right. I think I might actually have some fabric paints in little tubs. I gotta remember what they're probably not any good anymore, but I have some painting supplies to paint. I just
and then I
haven't
did
used
these
them.
little banners. These are for an SCA event that was yesterday actually.
Uh-huh.
For their arts and sciences competition prizes, because when they were their Barony is and ours are kind of less supported in the SCA, so we try to support each other. And so normally this weekend I would be over at their event and shooting archery today because today is the archery day. But when they had the online meeting to start planning it, they're like, oh, I guess we just won't have any prizes for our arts and sciences competitions this year. And I'm like, guys. I mean, I know that there's probably not going to be a lot of participation and whatnot, but guys, I will do up a couple of quick, just small little banners that I can just squash in an envelope and mail out.
Yes.
Like, you got to have a prize. You can't have this horrible year and not have something.
Yeah.
Right? Sorry to chuckle, but the Pet mentioned in the chat that there's someone lurking over my shoulder. Yes, those are dress forms lurking over my shoulder. In fact, I can push them back so you can see their full their full glory here.
Have you ever moved your dress form somewhere new right before you go to bed, and then you go to bed and you come out, to use the restroom or whatever, and you're like, oh, there's somebody. Oh, that's just my dress form. Okay.
I have heard tales of that. I don't have a dress form. I wish I did, but I just don't have a space in my tiny little apartment.
When I first moved out of my parents' house, I moved into an apartment with my partner, who also developer, and he had very expensive armor, and I bought him armor stands. And for the first 2 weeks I lived in that apartment, those were the only things in the living room. So I'd come back from work late at night and be like, fucking huge man,
I am sure that I would be that way, and I live alone, so I'd be like, somebody's in my place, somebody's in my. I'd be running out the door.
So I've never had an apartment big enough when I had my mannequins at the time. These live downstairs, so and my bedroom is upstairs. So I've never really had that issue. And when they are downstairs, I leave them all in one kind of huddle in one corner, so that they don't scare me. They're not the first thing I see when I come downstairs. Now, if my husband wanted to mess with me, which he doesn't like to do practical jokes like that, he would probably put one at the bottom of the stairs right as you come down and be like, oh, what is that? But yeah, no, I've never had the whole mannequin scare issue. All right, pet?
So slightly before, stay-at-home orders, I started doing chainmail jewelry, and I've just, gotten really into it. So I just wanted to show off a few of my pieces. So
Pretty.
Ooh.
these are Byzantine weaves. I did this one in 6 colors. I don't even know who I'm giving this one to. And then this one was like, I'm giving it to Unicorn, if you know who that is.
Yes. Yes, I
Super
know.
big hair, big personality lady. I love her. So I made that for
Yes.
her.
Those are all beautiful. I love those colors.
This one's also Byzantine, but it has like really cool
Oh, so you did it in little segments.
This one I'm giving as a prize for the winner of Korriban's Halloween Jeopardy. So that's getting sent away. Let me put it back into the envelope before I forget.
Wait, where did that go? Yeah.
Where did it go? Oh no.
Oh, it's a box piece.
Pretty.
I may or may not get knighted anytime soon, but I already chose my colors as purple and gray. And so this one was just like let me look at all the purples and see which I like. There's definitely one purple that's like purple blue, and I'm not going with that. I forgot what this one's called, but this one's definitely one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I got it in 6 colors, but I'm thinking about getting one in Torch's color and making one for him. I'm obsessed with Christmas. Anybody who knows that knows I'm obsessed with Christmas. And so this one's supposed to look like
tree lights.
yeah,
That's beautiful.
Now, did you make your clasp too?
I did not. I have the ability to make these, and I'm just not confident enough. And I know that that's practice, but
Right.
I have more money than confidence, so I'd rather buy the class.
That's fair.
Well, there's also a way to cheat.
Oh, okay.
You can get a bail making plier to do those bigger loops.
Nice.
There.
I'll write that down.
But yeah, this one is by Vintage. I think I got it at Joann's. But yeah, you can get bail making pliers, which has the bigger mandrels on them.
And then I have this one, which is a Persian weave, I think.
Oh yes.
And I got this in asexual pride colors. And then I also made one that I submitted to the Chaos Wars.
Oh yes.
I remember that.
That one. And I gave that one to my knight, so she has it with her fancy stuff, but I do have like an extra piece. Let me just grab it off the wall.
I actually might have that. No, I thought we had all the entries. Was it for this competition?
Yeah, it was under metalwork.
You must have sent it to Master Sven separately.
Yeah. So I made like these flowers. Hopefully you can see a little shiny. There's like a bead on the inside.
Yes.
I see the shininess. Is that like Swarovski or just like a glass bead?
It's just a glass bead. It's a little tiny glass bead.
That is really cute. I like shapes like that.
So I just have like 7 that became her bracelet. But I had just a little, like tiny little bit extra stuff, so I made one last one, and I hooked it with a straight pin to my belt flag that's hanging on the wall.
Very nice. Yeah, I was about to show that presentation, but you sent it to Master Sven separately, so. Um, if you're interested in more wire work, I'm making these this afternoon. And
And she can make them really fast too. She made a pair for me at T-Wald.
Oh, one of these?
Yeah, you remember that? Let me go get them here.
What time is that? Because I do have Shark Tank today, but I did want to like run to my nearby Michael's to get the stuff needed for your class.
It's after Shark Tank.
Okay, so I need to go to Michael's now.
Yes. Yes. Yep. And basically, you just need the graduated size of beads, which I have in here. And then the wire. You should be able to get everything you need at Michael's, really. Aside, well, and the tools if you don't already have them. And you weren't here when we went over this. That was the tunic I made at Chaos Wars during Master Anish's workshop. And then this is Master Sven's 16th century caftan, inspired by Yvonne the Terrible. Right? Did I say that right? Yeah, Yvonne the Terrible. And that was made for the Thrifty Garb Challenge. Oh, yes, and there's the pair I made for Master Anish.
That is beautiful. You're making me want to get dressed and run over to the storage and see if I can find my crafting supplies, but that storage is already pretty full. I'm not the best at labeling my boxes.
And similar to you, I don't have pierced ears, so everything ear jewelry wise has to go over them somehow. So
yeah, and I have so very little because of that. And I like jewelry. I make beaded jewelry all the time, although honestly it's too hot here in Las Vegas for me to wear it very often. But so I've kind of gone to making hair jewelry instead because my hair doesn't it doesn't
right
when I wear it in my hair. But yeah, I love the jewelry. I just don't wear it very often. Or when I do, I just instead of wearing it as a necklace or bracelet, I just stick it in my hair as, like a little headband or draped all over.
Almost every necklace I own just ends up being a hair jewel.
Yeah.
Because I don't like having things around my neck. Well, on top of having skin tags that catch on it, I have a teeny bit of arthritis in the back of my neck. So anything sitting on there or putting pressure on just gives me a migraine after a while.
And that's kind of what's happened to me now is I now have vocal cord dysfunction where when my vocal cord is paralyzed, I feel like somebody's got their hands wrapped around my throat and is choking me. So anything else around my neck just makes me feel that way anyway. So yeah, it's gotten to the point where I just can't really do it for more than 20 minutes, and then I'm like, it's got to come off.
Right. Oh, and I got to show the tunic. This is the 15th or is it 14th century boxed and fine tunic. That's the pattern that Master Sven did. It's all hand sewn entirely with linen thread on linen fabric, and the trim was gifted to him, and it took him quite some time. It was a labor of love. but he's more ambitious than me. I don't think I could hand sew an entire garment. I would probably go insane. But that's probably
I
probably a challenge that my master might give me.
I don't think I would be that cruel. My mother enjoys hand stitching quilts. She gave me a already put together quilt that I just had to like hand sew the squares down type thing when I was a kid. I think I was like 10 or something. And finally, by the time that I was going to college and it was still only like quarter, half done, maybe, she's like, "Would you like me to finish that?" And I'm like, "Yes, please."
Mother, please.
My thing with the hand sewing is that my machine can do it and can do it as well as I could do it hand stitching. So if I'm going to hand stitch, and I did this years ago, my mother designed this, and I practice stitched it according to her directions and told her where they needed work. But she had she'd done cross stitch when we were younger and had taught me that, and I enjoyed that. But then she went to Denmark for this a whole Hardanger trip, and I have no idea if this will show up because it's white on white.
Well, we can see the contrast.
But yeah, she did this whole sampler, and now I can't see what I'm showing you. And I had hand stitched it according to her directions. So mine is not quite exactly like hers, because there was one that apparently her directions didn't make sense to me, and I did it a slightly different way. And then she had it all, framed really pretty, and it went in a shop because it was a pattern that she sold. And then when the shop suddenly closed up and moved, it went with them without notifying us. So this was lost for probably 10 or 15 years.
Oh dear.
And then when somebody was going through it, when it officially like closed for good, our name and address was on it, and they contacted us and they're like, "Do you want this back?" And we're like, "Yeah. Do you know how many hours I put into that?" So yeah, so it has come back home.
Good. Those are precious.
So yeah, if I'm going to hand stitch, it's going to be, decorative black work, this kind of thing. Even just some simple decorative stitches like the herringbone or just a straight running stitch makes stuff like extra special.
Yeah.
Right.
One thing that I have been working on this year, actually just the last few weeks, is I'm currently taking a class on the Bara method for drafting patterns. So that's been interesting. So I've got these tapes. They're cotton fill tape. And there's one for height. They call it the length tape. One for your hip measurements. One for waist and one for bust. And basically you go through and you mark them at the same proportions for each tape, but because each tape is different, is a different length depending on what that measurement is, the proportions end up being different. So you still mark it at the half, the quarter, the 3/4, the eighth, etc. But what those actually measure to in regards to inches ends up being different. And so then when you're drafting it out, you're able, it still seems like magic. I'm only on I've done my second class yesterday, but here is a starting block. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see it for my measurements. So let's see, this side is the back, the armhole, and then the front.
So, and are these blocks going to be like a basis for like anything that you can make, or is it for a specific project?
So it depends. So this block that he had us make, so right now we're doing some stays and then some doublets. So this is just the first part. I haven't done where we actually start doing the waist and stuff yet. But let me grab printout here. Eventually, what he went over in class yesterday evening was making that
Okay.
for the stage. This for the female doublet. And then this for the male doublet.
Okay.
So he gave us some like standard measurements to make some tapes off of, and that's what we're doing for like most of the homework and stuff. But then he also wanted us to make some tapes for ourselves and practice what that would look like, doing it out on blocks and stuff. So
that makes sense.
One of my other friends was like, "Oh, you're learning this. Do you think you could teach a class on it?" And I'm like, maybe in a while. Like, this is all still magic to me, so I don't know. So that's what I'm working on right now.
I would like you to teach a class on that beautiful tunic and sideless that you're wearing. I love that. I love that you could shoot archery, because I do shoot archery, and I would love something that I can shoot in comfortably.
Right. The other thing with the tunic/dresses that I make is I design them so that I don't have to put gussets in, because I absolutely hate gussets. I will not, because this is being recorded, I won't say the unofficial thing for our shop. But anyway, so this, it's actually designed without a gusset.
Okay.
It's just when I cut it, I basically put the slope in, similar to modern clothing.
Yeah.
And so instead of having to put that diamond of fabric in, it's already in when I cut it out. Yep. So, but yeah, no, this was definitely interesting. I had hoped to make it in linen. It's actually made out of cotton.
That's my preference, because I'm allergic to linen.
No, that's fair.
That's like, it makes me itch and it gives me a rash, and I was just like, but it popped up when I had an allergy test done. Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, oh, no wonder I don't like wearing that stuff.
That is a rare allergy.
It is a rare allergy, yeah.
Yeah, see, I was wondering when you first mentioned it, I was wondering if maybe you were wearing like linen look or something, and so it was something else besides linen, but that's specific linen. Okay.
Yeah, it's
right.
It itches, and it can make, it doesn't always make me break out in a rash, but it always itches and scratches on my skin, and I just it drives me insane. And then I'm grumpy, and you don't want to be grumpy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wear a lot of, for my under tunics and whatnot, I wear a lot of cotton gauze.
That makes sense. Yeah, this was the event where I was hopefully going to be mastered was coming up, and I needed to finish a grand project, and I did not have the money to go and get linens, so do what I could, and so got this up, got my portfolio done, got it in, got it approved, and we figured out a way to have the ceremony at the event. So
right.
It was quite the busy few months / weeks.
Oh, I have a feeling I'm going to be doing a lot of last minute sewing before my elevation.
Possibly. We shall see how well you learn from your master and don't rush things at the end.
I mean, I am working on clearing my Etsy queue so that I don't have any outside projects that I have to finish. But it's really hard when, the only time I have is to work on the weekends, and I have all of my weekends filled. It's just like,
yeah.
Why do I have time to do this? Because after work,
you're exhausted. You don't have.
It's exhausting. So all I want to do is veg on the couch and watch TV.
Yeah.
But yeah.
even when I was not employed there for a few months, basically what I got done was building my sewing room again because it was all packed up for 2-3 years.
At least you got that done. I mean, when I was out of work, when I was terminated at the beginning of COVID, I didn't do anything. And I mean, part of that was because I was so ill from where I worked, but still, I didn't do anything.
No, for the first few weeks, I just vegged on the couch and watched films and TV shows and just like actually had a break because so I was homeschooled and occasionally we'd do school through the summer because we, because of other things that would come up throughout the year, we still had to get the weeks done and stuff like that.
Right.
And then like I started working and I'd never actually really had a summer off. And so having more than just, maybe a week for an event or something off, I was like, oh, I haven't actually rested in like forever.
Right.
So it was good. It was a little stressful, but having 6 months off was kind of nice. So.
Well, we have another class coming in about 4 minutes. Hopefully we have lots of people coming in. Thank you for attending the Artisan Display. And I can't wait to see what everyone works on for next year.
Thank you. I really enjoyed this.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. And then I can mute.
It's Roku next, yeah. In here. Oh, you're muted, dear.
I'm going to reclaim host while you're away from the keyboard for a minute.
Okay.